everybody, and welcome once again to the vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live streams. We are back at our regular time after a brief departure last week when we came to you on a Wednesday. But as is usually the case, every Tuesday at around about this time of the day, we open up the vidIQ doors and welcome you all in for a fantastic extravaganza of live streaming, which will involve you submitting your channels, getting a little bit nervous, getting a little bit vulnerable, but at the end of it, us sharing some of our knowledge, wisdom, experience, and skills that will hopefully motivate and inspire you for the next part of your YouTube journey. And this can only mean one thing, as always. We are now officially live. And as always, I could not do this live stream without my incredible coasting co-host. Sometimes he hosts, sometimes he sits in the chair he's in today, but he always has the most fantastic lights on YouTube live streams. Hey, Dan, welcome. Stop relaxing. Get comfortable in your chair. The first question is...
I was comfortable.
Can you hear me? Does your microphone work? You got flooded out last week. It's all done, sorted.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It was sorted. I went ahead and just replaced the equipment, and now the one that they sent me is broken. So I have to replace it again, but this time it won't cost as much, which is nice.
Well, I hope, Dan, that will all get resolved and rectified very, very soon. I'm already seeing some of our vidIQ members, part of the vidIQ Nation, firing in your exclusive emojis, which is awesome to see. We do need to add more emojis to that list as the membership grows. But a permanent member of the vidIQ Nation is more of a family member here. The coolest cat in town. He gets up very early in the morning to have his milk and salute you all. It is the claw-loving legend that is Jeff. Hey, Jeff. How you doing? What's going on?
Doing okay, man. How you doing?
Welcome the entire vidIQ audience with a suitable sound effect, please.
Bruh.
That will do very, very nicely. So, folks, you're here. I'm here. Dan's here. Jeff's here. And we're all here to talk about your channels through auditing. If you are brand new, do let us know in the chat. If you are one of those newcomers, we're going to give you a brief introductory video. It's kind of like when you get on a flight and they have the safety announcements. But this announcement is really important because if you don't follow it, then you're not going to understand how the next couple of hours works. So let's play it and see what we find out. Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. Okay, final bits of housekeeping as always. Super chats are open, and if you want to send them, we will gratefully receive them and highlight that super chat to talk about it. Definitely, we encourage questions if you have them. Super chats do not guarantee you a channel audit. We want to be very clear about that. I'm going to be super, super clear because in around about 75 minutes, somebody will ask via the medium of a super chat, how do I get my channel audited? So I'm saying this now so that we can tell people to rewind to the disclaimer when I said this. But yes, super chats are welcome. Probably better to get them in earlier because we have a much better chance of answering them in the next couple of hours. And just as a final point, while YouTube is a universal platform and it welcomes all sorts of creators, we do have some fairly, I would say, not rigid policies, but universal appeal channel rules. So if your content is heavily skewed to something that we think is may not appropriate for all ages, then we'll just apologize and say we probably can't audit this channel and we will move on. Very rarely happens, but let's see what we encounter today. And with all of that being said, Dan, Jeff, are you ready to unleash your vocal cords at some of these channels? So enthusiastic, like no, they're gonna audit these channels through the medium of mime this week, I think. First channel we're going to look at is the first channel that's submitted on the forms. They're in the description right now, and you can fill them out. You will possibly get randomly selected later on in this live stream. This channel calls themselves Ben the Rules. I think it's a cheeky diversion from Bend the Rules. They are redefining travel. They have 600 subscribers, and I'll let Jeff open up the conversation on this one.
Let's go back to the top here. Let's start fresh. Let's start at the very beginning.
Let's do that.
So redefining travel. Perfect. So I'm assuming this is like seeing the world in new ways. They have that in their about section. Redefining travel. I'm assuming that this is their value proposition that they're giving. And I like that they're keeping it simple, because this is, one of the things that I will harp on here is how people will just have their channel name up there and like hit subscribe and stuff like that. And it's like, this is kind of a second chance to really deliver on your value proposition, whatever that might be. I like that they kept it simple. I probably would have gone a little bit bigger on the text, if I'm being completely honest, because there's a lot of wasted space, I would say, in this banner. But that's just me. Nitpicking on that. But I'm glad. I kind of wanted to highlight that for a lot of people that are in the chat right now, who haven't done that basic portion on their channel and added their value proposition instead of just like their face and their channel name. That banner is the first thing that people see. And if you look at your analytics, a lot of people do subscribe from the homepage. So you do want to make sure that you have a lot of this stuff optimized right from the beginning. But aside from that, let's see. Can you go back to the homepage? Let's go back to the instead of the videos.
All the way back to the beginning, sure.
And let's see here. Okay, Bosnians and Kosovo. So we don't have a channel trailer, which is fine. We do have a popular video up there, which is not a problem. I see that they are doing playlists. So we do have videos. And there's Switzerland to Bosnia with no money. So I'm glad that they're actually kind of making their content more accessible. This is something that I want to make sure that a lot of channels, especially newer channels, are doing. If you already have a library of content, make sure you're putting it into playlists. Make sure you're putting those playlists on your homepage, and make sure that they're making your content accessible. Like, you want to, if you have videos from where you were journeying from California to wherever, you want to have those available as well. So it's nice to have that. And if they're doing shorts, hopefully they have a shorts playlist on the homepage as well.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick whistle-stop tour around their channel to see what they're up to. Looks like they're covering all the bases except for live streams. Posting community tab regularly, doing shorts. Dan, what are your thoughts on this channel?
So I'm noticing the latest video. These are the best and worst Balkan snacks. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Dan, just to pause for a second. I don't know about you, Jeff, but does Dan sound a little hot? Just maybe a touch too loud?
Let's put it down a little bit. Try that.
It was for me. I might be wrong, though. The levels between Jeff and Dan was quite a big difference.
It's a new system, so it's very likely it was messed up. Sorry, everybody.
All right. You sound good now.
Good? Okay.
Yeah. Balkan's the word.
Balkan snacks. Thank you. So that is cool. I can see why it's still kind of travel related, but I do worry because there's another one about snacks, and then we're like in Croatia, and you notice the dip in views when you went to snack reviews versus, hey, I'm going to be in the city kind of doing this thing.
Yeah.
I want people to test content. I think it's really important to try new things. I don't think these videos, if they are a failure, I don't think they're a detriment to the channel or anything like that. But it does illustrate the difference in audience that you're kind of targeting with this content, because people follow you for looking around cities and stuff. And when you're reviewing snacks from other places, it does not appeal to as wide of an audience from the people you've started gathering around your community.
Indeed. The one thing I wanted to point out on this channel was this particular thumbnail and title, which I thought was like an excellent combination of posing an intriguing question in the title and then having that sense of jeopardy or dread, there's mines in this area. I just thought the execution wasn't quite right. Probably the sign needs to be on the left-hand side. It needs to be blown up a little bit. His face needs to be a little more like, this could be quite scary. Like the curiosity and the intrigue there is beautiful. And the execution just needs to be ramped up a little bit. So use that, I think, as your North Star for curiosity on thumbnails. That was a really good one. But generally speaking, a channel with 600 subscribers and they're getting several hundred views on most videos. I think that's encouraging. They've got a good community. And they are, I'm not going to say they're redefining the rules of redefining travel. I think they seem to be mostly sticking to Bosnia, Kosovo, Croatia, kind of that area of Europe. I'm wondering if you can really just leverage into that area where I think you get most of your popular views because, Dan, as you were saying, they moved on to snacks, didn't do quite well. And then they moved into New York and that travel piece didn't do as well either. So I'm wondering if a particular niche or corner of YouTube is reviewing this area of Europe that perhaps isn't served that well for an English-speaking viewers, because presumably from the titles and the thumbnails, all of this is in English as well. So I think a very promising channel. Thank you for submitting Ben the Rules. That is the first channel from the non-gaming form. And now we'll move on to the first gaming channel to submit this week. And they call themselves the TheEthanChannel. They have approaching 5,000 subscribers, nearly 300 views. They've got one of these funky progress bar things. I don't know if I'm a fan of them. It's kind of cool, but you lose the opportunity for a value proposition. But do you need it? There's all sorts of arguments one way or the other. This is a shorts channel, so it's a little more difficult to audit because we're going off just the titles. We may need to click on one of these shorts. Dan, I'll throw it over to you. What do you think?
This is really cool to see someone like just going all in on shorts. I happen to know a thing or two about shorts because I had a short of the weekend that did really, really well.
Yeah.
So I think what I'd be looking at is their most popular videos first. Let's take a look.
All right, then let's do that. I will switch to popular, and I may play one as well. All right, wow, 400,000 views, so we've got an outlier here.
Yeah, it looks like we've taken a trending character from something completely different, put them in Minecraft, and leaned into that as like the pitch of the video. It did very, very well. And my assumption there is that if you continue down that road, can you take other well-known characters and do interesting things with them in Minecraft? Could you continue seeing those types of views? Were you still want to take a look at it?
Yeah, let's click on it, see what happens.
I'm Peppa Pig.
Wow. Oh, it's still going on. I thought that was a short.
Oh, it's long.
Yeah. So that was like the intro. It's like almost like a short show.
George loves playing Minecraft.
Now this is one where they're using AI voice, but I think we would allow it in this type of content.
It works for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice use of sound effects. Good editing. I have no idea what's going on. I must have confessed because I don't know Minecraft or Peppa Pig, but I'm sure this is entertaining for the audience.
Doesn't work.
All right, I think we've seen enough for now since we don't know what's going on.
So I can see why that got so many views. I really can. I think if you know anything about Minecraft, if you know who George is, if you know Peppa Pig, like there's a lot of reasons to stop scrolling on that and it keeps going. Like I liked all the twists. We thought it was done after the initial intro, and then it just kind of kept going and telling a story. Yes, it definitely should be posting in your community tab. Things related to Minecraft, things related to the interests of your audience. But yeah, I think what you should be doing is more shorts like that. Try and tell little stories. Try and use popular characters. Maybe continue using Peppa Pig. There's nothing wrong with doubling down on exactly what's worked in the past. So did you want to look at the latest short real quick? I want to know why.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah. So
why not all of them get 500,000 views? What's going on?
Music, talking over music.
Yeah,
trying to not get a copyright claim.
Maybe mute it. Mute the music so you don't get a copyright claim.
Whoops. Yeah.
So, okay, I can see why this one hasn't taken off. Because here's the thing. Look how long we stay on this shot of you falling. We don't even realize you're falling. It looks like you're just kind of floating in the sky. And then if you stay around long enough, you see that you're trying to land on a target. that target should be visible the second the short starts, first of all. And then what's with the end here with you still like crouching up and down and waving? It doesn't, there's not a lot of reason to stop scrolling on this. Like compared to the work you did in the Peppa Pig short, there's just not enough happening in this one that is going to make a Minecraft fan stop scrolling. So you got to think every single short you make does not, okay, if you get, let's say you do 10 shorts and all of them get over 1 million views. Your 11th short is not guaranteed 1 million views. There's nothing happening in the background that's going to go, oh, well, we got to give Ethan 1 million views because we always do. Every short's going to have its own trajectory. So treat them as such. What's going to get someone to stop scrolling? What's the first thing they're going to see? If they just see you waving at them as a Minecraft character and nothing's happening for 1 or 2 seconds, they're going to assume that's the whole video and they're going to stop scrolling. People need to know based on something visual and audible that something is happening. Something is going to happen. There's going to be a payoff if you just don't scroll away.
Word. That is the Ethan channel. And as always now, we just stop dead for Rob to be very self-indulgent and we go into Gaming Corner where we ask you what you've been playing video game-wise this week, along with a bit of a quiz. Can you guess where this gaming sound effect comes from? I've been very generous for the first few weeks, but this time it's a little more difficult. Here we go.
Oh, I thought you said it'd be difficult.
I'm going to play that one more time. Dan thinks it's very easy. Where does that sound effect come from?
I got it.
And Dan, what have you been playing this week?
Diablo still. So got the new Diablo game.
Diablo 4. Yeah, how are you finding that?
Best one I've ever played. I don't know if that's blasphemous to say, but I certainly like all the changes, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And Diablo is like a real-time RPG, would you say? Isometric view, from what I remember from Diablo 3.
Yeah, it's kind of like an MMO, but it's not an MMO at all. And it's kind of, I guess a dungeon crawler would be a good way to describe it. ARPG, I think, is the technical term. Action RPG.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just a lot of Roblox today.
I'm clicking on what games have been played by people. Wow, Mass Effect. Which one? That's a blast from the past. Jeff, anything on your machine right now?
Yeah. Oh, and a quick shout out to Yucky Ham Sandwich. That is one of our maxers. So they are hanging out in the chat. For myself, well, do you want me to answer what that sound effect was from, or what game I'm playing?
No, we'll leave that for another second. Yeah.
Some folks got it.
So for me, right now, I've actually restarted playing. Actually, I never played it. I played the older games in this series, Hitman 3. So I started playing it because shout out to my friend Ariel. Her channel's name is Huggable Hipster. She's been doing gaming content for a while, and she did a live stream where she called herself the clumsiest hitman, and she was going through this game, and it was hilarious, and it basically inspired me. I'm like, you know what? I feel like playing that game. Let me go ahead and start playing that game. So, but yeah, I got a sound effect for you, Rob.
I'm listening. Oh, that gives me all of the feels. Oh, the greatest console game of all time.
And the greatest pause music of any game ever.
GoldenEye. I've played for it about 3 or 4 times now.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say it, right? Facility. That is the best level design of any game ever. And the music that accompanies it. And like it was the first real stealth game I played. Oh, chef's kiss. Yeah. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok. I can just copy and paste that for the next 3 months. Brilliant game. It's massive. It's going to take me ages. Nice. All right. So we did ask what this sound effect was. Dan thinks he definitely knows. Jeff also thinks he knows. What's the answer?
Halo.
Halo. But what part of Halo? Describe when you would hear that.
When you're almost dead. That's the
kind
sound your shield makes when it's gone and you're about to get killed by an alien. Yeah.
So when you run out of shield...
I know that sound very well.
When you run out of shield, but then you replenish your shield when you escape. Hope you enjoyed that bit of Gaming Corner. But we're going to have something a little later on. Don't get too excited, but it's going to be awesome. Right, next channel we are going to audit here is Circle H Scuba. Education, equipment, experiences, environment. Dan, I think you picked this one out, if I'm not mistaken. What was the reason for this?
Well, I thought this was really interesting. I was seeing some videos with over 1,000 views on what I would consider to be a very niche channel. You know, like, so it's
Yep.
just really cool to see somebody going, I'm going to go all in on this very niche hobby. And the one video in particular almost has 10,000 views is do this to prevent mask fogging on every dive. And that was really what inspired me to pick this channel, because it made it really clear to me why like someone might watch this channel. Because when you think about it, a lot of people probably don't have experience scuba diving, or at least often, but a lot of people probably have like a pool and wear goggles and have them fog up. And so you can see why a scuba channel teaching like how do I keep my like mask from fogging up would apply to so many people. And it made me wonder what other kind of content that this channel could make that would be more broadly appealing. And then the other thing that came to mind was, what if this channel, and I think they're probably either they probably have tested this before, or maybe it's something they plan on doing. Scuba diving is like a fascinating thing. You don't necessarily have to want to scuba dive to want to watch scuba diving content. So if the videos were pitched in a way that made it look like you were just going to do something cool and anyone could enjoy it, just seeing through your lens, so to speak, like you're just taking people along with you, you'll probably get a lot of views. And then it's great to have videos talking about scuba diving, teaching best practices, and telling people, well, how do you get training? Where you go to scuba dive? That's all very relevant, searchable content. But you could do both. So new to diving, what you actually need: great title, great thumbnail, like really professionally done thumbnail, I would say on that one. And almost 2,000 views, probably going to get views for a long time to come. I want to see like a balance on this channel between those types of videos and videos where you're just showcasing something cool, something unique that you saw on a scuba diving trip. You're not going to believe this style of content, I suppose. And shorts, I mean, great place to start doing that, testing it out, because you're going to see all kinds of stuff. You're going to get all kinds of crazy footage, and the best of the best should be going on YouTube Shorts.
Jeff, anything alternative to add there?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I really like what Dan mentioned here, and also these are probably some of the best thumbnails I've seen on a channel under 1K.
They are incredible, aren't they?
Like, under 10K. So yeah.
Look at the evolution here. I almost feel as if, and I apologize to the creator if I'm wrong about this, they may have hired a thumbnail designer, because just the leap from where they were to where they are now, incredible.
Yeah, but it makes a huge difference.
It does,
Either they learn the skill set very quickly, which I've seen people do. I've
Yep.
had friends do it. I'm not one of them, but other people will hire people, and there's totally nothing wrong with that. If you hire someone and they can level up your content like this to where your packaging becomes much more intriguing, then you can just focus your energy on making the content itself better. Focus on your strengths. Let somebody else use their strengths on that part of it. I'm totally with it, but I like what they're going for here, and I love scuba channels. You won't catch me dead in the ocean, but I'll do it vicariously through you. So thank you for your service.
That needs to be a t-shirt. That I love watching scuba diving channels, but you won't see me dead in the water.
Nope.
Right, I'm going to throw something out here, and I don't know if this is too soon or it's like capitalizing on a potential tragedy, etc., etc., etc. But in the world of deep sea, there is something trending right now, at least in the UK. I'm assuming, Dan, Jeff, is this a big news over in the US right now?
It is.
About this scuba, not scuba, this, what do you call them? Very deep water submarine that's right now, as we understand it, it's lost, but we don't know what's going to happen with it. It's a trending news story. Do you think this creator, if they chose to, could add a voice, something to this conversation, like whether it could be, it would be impossible to dive down to save or find this submarine, or like what somebody in a submarine that's so far down for 10 days would have to contend with. I appreciate this is a really touchy subject, but when we think about opportunities to jump on trends, it feels like one, but I don't know if it's like a too soon. Like at the moment, we don't know the end outcome. Discuss.
Yeah, I would say I would approach this very carefully, because since it's still an evolving story, I think if anything, if they wanted to approach it, I would approach it from a technical standpoint of something like the difficulties of reaching something that is, I believe the Titanic is like what, 12,000 feet, something like that. It's insanely deep. So that could be a part of it, but obviously, just like Rob mentioned, this is a very sensitive subject, so you really have to weigh out whether or not you're willing to face possible flack. So you really want to be sensitive about what's going on, because there's plenty of channels that talk about very, very touchy subjects, very controversial stuff. How they do it, right? If you do it with tact, if you do it with respect, and you respect the families and what the people are going through, and you say that, it can be done appropriately. So how you approach it is going to be very important.
I think if there's a positive outcome to this, then definitely jump on the results of it as soon as possible. But while we're in this period of unknown, as you say, touchy. Sorry, Dan, to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I think the one thing you could consider is waiting for the situation to resolve, and then, talking about it from there. What went wrong? Why did we lose contact with it? And then the technical aspects of what it takes to go that deep underwater, like why a scuba diver can't just go down there and explore the Titanic, and there's a lot of different bits of conversation you can have about it while also being sensitive and tactful and appropriate.
Okie dokie. So that is Circle H Scuba. Let's move on to the next channel. This is Tile the World. It's a fantastic channel name, which just immediately tells me within 5 seconds of looking at the channel, this is about DIY tiling or home improvements. And I love the fact that I get that instant message in my head to tell me whether I'm not in the right place. So thumbs up for that. Just over 1,000 subscribers. Again, Dan, did you pick this one?
I did.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So this was another interesting one because super, super niche channel. And I just saw a lot of opportunity here to, again, some audience focus. I saw some opportunity for focusing on the right audience. It feels like title thumbnail wise, they are not making super searchable content, right? Some of it, maybe that was their attempt, like Grout 101, all you need to know before you start your tile project. A bit wordy, a bit, I feel like that could have been cleaned up a bit. So I think there's an opportunity for search in this channel for sure. Yeah, here we go. How to grout.
It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Self-evident.
Yeah, because that's what someone's going to type in. How to grout. And then it's just a competition of who has the most recent relevant video. Title, thumbnail. Thumbnail for sure. So the next thing I was going to mention was thumbnails, and this is great research to be doing for the channel we were looking at, because these thumbnails are very clear in their messaging, what they're doing.
Just a quick mention down before we go back to thumbnails. We look at the top results, 7 years, 4 years, 10 years. May suggest that it's hard to break into this niche, but then there are these little pockets of, this was only 5 months ago. So there are new videos that can break into this content. Let's go back to the thumbnails.
When you think about this, think about how this is technology that's not really updating, but there's probably techniques that make it easier. So I would be looking for those techniques. I'd be showcasing them, like tiling hacks, 10 tiling hacks, never mess up a tile again. I don't know.
The right way to grout in 2023.
Oh,
yeah, you could do something like that, as if something's changed, and then you give some tips.
I am grout. Sorry.
I'm here all day, folks.
That's another way to approach it, actually, Rob. If they were to make a tile canvas of Groot, and that was the thumbnail, I am grout. That's funny. So there's different places you could take this, but they need to decide what to do, because on just a month ago they were doing a podcast. There's an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. I don't know what that's all about.
That threw me.
Yeah. So channel focus, a month ago, you were trying stuff, and it was strange. It didn't seem to match what the channel was pitching as what it does. So go ahead.
I'm just wondering, is that a podcast about tiling? I mean, we talk about niches.
Happy hour.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, there are
wow.
There are several different things I feel like they're trying to do, but ultimately, titles and thumbnails, I would focus on search-driven content first. I would go dead simple. If you're going to do a tiling channel, you should have the most basic videos very clearly posted on your channel as just a starting point. And that will help you get discovered. That'll help you kind of build things up. And then if you want to do some ASMR style tiling content, I think a lot of people would watch that, especially in YouTube Shorts. I think if you have this satisfying thing where you have this blank floor or whatever, and then you start placing tiles on it immediately, and then you kind of do this time lapse where it's like becoming more and more finished until it's completely done. Like, I'd stop and watch that. There's something really satisfying about watching a project, whether you know how to do it or not, will kind of come together.
Your thoughts, Jeff, and then maybe we'll look at some super chats.
No, I agree. Especially, doing the dead basic content, making sure that stuff is set up in playlists, make a lot of that accessible content, right? You want that entry level stuff, the entry point. When someone is looking for this type of information, which a lot of us do, whenever we need info about anything, we go to YouTube University. Yep. So this is where we're going to start. So make sure you have that accessible content. Obviously, your personality is going to have to shine in order to get people to come back, because this is, utility content essentially, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong. I make a ton of evergreen content myself. It's not a big deal. The value you deliver is, and the way that you deliver it, and your personal quirks are what going to get people to come back. So yeah, I agree with Dan doing that. And then if you want to start having community stuff in there, whether it's live streams, whether it's ASMR shorts, which, the sound of scraping grout, obviously that's going to work for a short. That's that's a no brainer. But I like where they're headed with this. It seems like they're doing quite well with this and explaining things. I think the packaging, I agree. I think the packaging just needs a little bit more work. Aside from the dead basics, but other concepts. I think they can really keep this going and keep this moving in the right direction.
That was Tile the World. And now let's answer the questions that are coming in from the vidIQ Nation via the medium of super chats. All right, the first one comes in from Sides Picks Travel. Message on my latest video. This video is reaching a wider audience on YouTube, leading to a lower click-through rate than usual. Good or bad?
Yes.
Not really wanting to commit yourselves there, you two.
No, I know the answer. I was just following along with Dan. Basically, it's good. You want to see that, basically, because what's happening here when it says the video is reaching a wide audience, YouTube is putting it into this type of language to make it make sense to you at a very basic level. What this means is that the video is performing well, and so it's being essentially pulled towards new viewers. So you're getting more impressions on this video, which is going to lower your click-through rate. That's why you'll have some videos that have hundreds of thousands, millions of views, and will have a abysmal click-through rate, but that's because it's being shown to so many people. So that's not a problem. So that's usually what it'll say there. This is usually not a bad thing. So definitely not a bad thing at all.
Agreed 100% there. Dove Gaming 4M. After, I assume, community strike, views are down. Please help. Unfortunately, this is tricky to assist with because we don't know the context of why you received a community strike. For example, if it was a community strike about, I don't know, bullying and harassment or firearms, etc., following that strike, your content may be kind of restricted to a certain audience, which would see your views down. But without the context there, it's very difficult to answer. I think ultimately, don't get any more strikes. That's the big advice there.
One thing to note is that when that happens, you have to change your content. So that can be the reason you're getting lower views, not because YouTube is putting pressure on anything, but literally because you can't do the same kind of content you were doing.
I want to have a massive shout out for Old Man Gib, not just for this super chat, but for the memberships that they handed out. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before. Very, very generous of you. And just a huge thank you, he says, for all of the great information you have given out for free over the years. And yes, happy belated Father's Day to all the dads in here. Now, I think Father's Days and Mother's Days are different depending on where you are. Like, was it Father's Day for you in the US on Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
But Mother's Day is different, I think, because for us in the UK, it's March, and for you, it's like a completely different... I don't know, it gets mixed up a little bit around the globe, but sounds like we were all celebrating our fathers on Sunday. My silver journey, they're at 600 subs in 4 months. Theoretically, you might be close to monetization. We'll see. Is that good growth speed? I'm a YouTube noob, so I do not know how it all works. I would say 600 subs after 4 months is fairly swift progress. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say it's promising for sure. Mm-hmm. So, but one thing you have to remember is this: everybody's journey is different. So there's channels like, to name a massive one, Mr. Beast, that took forever to get to 1,000 subscribers. Same thing with Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. So everybody's journey is different. We don't know what they're going to end up at. More than anything else, I would say whatever you're doing, stay consistent with what you're doing. But yeah, 604 months, not bad. I'd say that's very promising.
Thank you. Maybe this was a super sticker from Otis Dub Beat Saber. $1 there. And Jeff, we have some new members, and these new members just need appropriate sound effects. Was that it? Cool. I'm sorry, I don't know this language, let alone trying to pronounce it. So thank you for the super chats there. 16 shot visuals. I love the channel. Hopefully we can collab on an interview soon. Okay, so you would like to do an interview with us. Interesting, interesting. Maybe you can reach out to us on the DMs in Twitter or Instagram. We'll see what we can potentially do. Jeff, we now need another sound effect. That one will do. Thank you very much. The next super chat comes from when my computer starts working again. Work in progress. I have 2 channels. One is performing a bit better than the other across all social medias. Should I just focus on one channel as opposed to multiple? What do we think?
It depends on how you're finding the 2-channel strategy. It's a lot, even as someone who tells myself, if I start another channel, I tell myself I'm not gonna focus on this one. This is just something I'm testing. Even that is a lot of work. And so I do think that you'll grow faster if you focus on the one you're most passionate about and just not try to expand the empire yet. Work on maybe a second channel when you go full time on YouTube. If you're not full time already, I would say it's very hard to see growth on 2 channels, much less 1.
I think that's a perfect answer, Dan. I don't think we can improve on that. Nerder Lever, that might be again a super sticky. We appreciate it. And here we go, folks. We have a first super chat asking for a review when we said at the start of a live stream that that's not how we use super chats. We use super chats to have a conversation about YouTube in general. So maybe it'll get randomly selected. Who knows? Later on, we shall see. Very specific denomination donation here from Design Burst. Is it normal for YouTube to give a few impressions to new channels? Usually, how long, if consistent, to get discovered? Sorry, I am a newbie. I think I will field this one and say, watch our video on Monday, which talked about when YouTube doesn't have much viewer data about your channel in terms of watch history and what type of people are watching your content. You might want to try and go after search-based content a little more, really focus on your metadata. So where are you going to get discovered if somebody is intentionally looking for content that you make? Once you're in watch history, then you can start to exploit, browse, and suggest it a little more. But the suggestion is that when there's no data on your channel and on your viewers, search may be an avenue to go down. Dan, Jeff, I offer you counter options, or whether you agree or not.
I would just add that there's no invisible timer on your videos where YouTube is going to suddenly start pushing them out. I had a channel in the past that I was playing with and got it monetized in 6 days. So it's literally different for everybody. There's nothing. It's just all about finding somebody who wants to watch your content. If you're making something that somebody wants to watch, YouTube's going to test it. The second you upload it, YouTube's going to try to figure out what place it could go for the right type of person. Let them do that work, and you just focus on okay, what's that specific person I want to make content for? They're not complaining that that's not happening. I'm just trying to, for everybody. There's no invisible timers that YouTube is putting on people's videos.
Yeah,
Lovely stuff.
I agree completely. That's one of the things where what we want to make sure we're doing. The earlier you do this, the better. The earlier you start thinking about before you turn on your camera, the earlier you start thinking about what the video topic. Does anybody care about this? Does anybody even want to watch this? Is there a market for this type of video? And then coming up with your title, your thumbnail, doing that stuff before you record the video. But first of all, does anybody care? Does anybody actually want to click this? I know so many creators that I've worked with who don't even give that a single thought before they record a video. They don't even think, is there even a market for this? They don't even think about any of that, and they hope and pray. They're just kind of doing the throwing spaghetti at a wall technique, hoping something sticks. Stop doing that. Start thinking about whether or not anybody actually cares about this, and then move forward with the content.
Next question comes from EV Pulse. Some shorts we have 80%. I think that's audience retention. 80% viewed versus swiped away. Complete full likes and 300 views. Worse shorts get more views. Madness. What else can I look at?
Worse shorts get more views is what's throwing me. I guess what they mean is like shorts that they feel like aren't very good are getting more views than the ones they enjoy making.
Or poor data, like they get like 67% audience retention and 60 to 40% swiped away.
One thing that might mean is that your shorts that aren't getting as many views, but the retention's really good. It means like you've built up this core audience. When they see your shorts, they click on them, but it's not enough to reach that wider audience. Like you just have people that like anything you do, which is good. That happens. That would be my other assumption. But this is why shorts can be very, very tricky. I wouldn't hang yourself up on this too much. I would just worry about doing the research and figuring out why would someone stop watching the short, and watch. I always say this, watch shorts yourself. Like go into the short shelf and just spend like an hour there, and that'll go by very quickly. And each one that you stop on, try and take note of like what was said in the first few seconds that made you stop. Let me tell you everybody about the one that did well over the weekend. We did something a little bit different, very intentionally. We took a video, we did an interview with a viewer known as Canadian Guy A. And we did a whole long form video on them already, but we took footage and notes from that video and made it into a short. And literally all I did at the beginning was I approached it from that perspective of, I want anyone to watch this. I don't want this to be just for people who want to know about YouTube growth. I want people to watch this because they want to hear the story. And so with that in mind, I said and did certain things in the short differently from how we would do like a YouTube growth short. And it worked. It's picked up in the algorithm and it's continuing to kind of spread and do its shorts thing, which is great. So it was all about telling a story. There we go. Like that, it started out normal, then it went pew, and now it's kind of normaling out again, and it's probably going to go pew again. So this is what we want to see. And now we know if we just tell stories, we start to reach beyond our YouTube growth audience and get into an audience of people who are just fascinated by YouTube as a whole. They don't want to make content necessarily. They're just like, hey, like what is YouTube all about? What are these creators going through? And so we explained this creator's story and like why they were so successful and all that fun stuff. And we just kind of celebrated a creator. Did very well.
The metrics are amazing or off the charts. 70-30 split. Audience retention is 86%. I think these are all good, but as you say, Dan, I think there was just something a little different, something a bit more of an X factor in terms of the shorts view, which really appealed to them. So good job. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more of them. I think we'll just do one more super chat and then we'll go back to audits. So this creator did send us a previous super chat wanting a audit, and now I think they've got the right idea. Now they're asking us a question. My channel is old and has 4,000 subscribers. I feel maybe YouTube is decreasing my impressions. Should I start a new channel? And maybe they're worried about investing too much money. Not quite sure on the question here, but new channel.
I have a channel that's 10 years old that I've kind of stepped away from. If I ever wanted to pick it back up, I would say that it's going to be slow because I haven't reached out to that audience in a while. And I would just be going into it with a mindset of like, this is for new people now. Like the people who used to watch me are gone. Maybe they'll see this, maybe they won't. I'm now worried about new viewers. That's my advice. I don't know what would actually happen, but I know YouTube, again, I don't think there's an invisible force YouTube's put in place. Oh, that channel's old and they stopped, so we got to punish them. That YouTube doesn't care if you took a break that was 10 years long. It's all about like, make sure you're following the trends of today. Who are you making content for here and now? Yeah,
we tend to add a lot of humanity to the way that the YouTube algorithm works, in a sense of punishing us or doing things negative against us and this and that. It's like, no, listen, a lot of that stems from us not willing to accept responsibility for our own content. That's where a lot of that stems from. But my advice to them would be I would just start a new channel, to be completely honest. I'd want clean data. If you're starting over from scratch, I get that some people don't want to start from the beginning. That one has 4,000 subs. 4,000 of the wrong subs is really what it comes down to, especially if you're doing a complete pivot, different type of content 10 years later. I just started a new channel.
Yeah.
Wow. Some advice I probably wouldn't follow myself, Jeff, but that's the beauty of like different paths to the same success.
There's no wrong answer there. I mean, it's
agreed. Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have to treat it like a new channel either way.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you for your super chats. We will try and get in a few more later on, but now we need to go back to some channel auditing, and there are several ways to get your channel audited, and one of them is through our Twitter competition that we hold semi-regularly. And Viper opens up the vidIQ Twitter to thumbnail submissions, and the winner this week was Reeon with this thumbnail. I'm a little scared about this channel, so I don't think I will offer any advice, and you're going to find out why in a second.
Bruh. I will
This,
send you to Jesus.
this concerns me.
This has to be because they knew that we were coming to the channel.
Possibly.
I refuse to
possibly.
believe this is always there. This is what you get for putting your face on too many thumbnails.
Well played.
Okay, we're gonna ignore the banner.
Okay.
I love the latest thumbnail. I think this is very interesting. Look how many views they have.
Yeah.
Look how many subscribers they have.
Monster channel.
Still, from view to subscriber ratio, like that video performed crazy well. You know, for the size of their channel, and the last bunch of videos have. This is giving me Farzy vibes in the sense that this is somebody who's playing Minecraft and like has targeted a very specific audience within the Minecraft space, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they're doing very, very well. It's hard to like look at this channel and give actionable advice. Maybe we can dive a little deper. Maybe we'll look at their shorts, their community tab, things like that. But yeah, look how strong this is.
Yeah, and it started off with like first video. How many views did it get? Let me just scroll down. 2,000 views. First video, fantastic.
Yep.
First couple of views, 1,000. Breakout video. Then we're into tens of thousands of views per video, and then a big breakout video of 1 million views, and they've sustained that. They've gone viral, but they've gone viral within their audience and their niche, and that is just chef's kiss, really. They're off to the races. Dan, it's a good point you mentioned shorts. They are not utilizing shorts. So is that an easy win for this channel, considering their video output tends to be once a month?
Yeah. The creators that are winning at shorts when they upload in this frequency, I would say, are the ones who kind of when they script out their video, they plan at least something in there they know is going to become a short. And so when they're recording it, they record accordingly. So they know exactly like what point in the video, like this is what I want to turn into a short, so I'm going to approach it a little bit differently. Or they re-record a section so it looks and sounds good when it hits the short shelf. You don't have to do shorts. Shorts are not required, by the way, but we always see it like as a win, especially for a channel that's already doing so well with long form content.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, worst come to worst, at this point, worst come to worst, they could outsource someone to repurpose their content, especially if they don't have time to do it themselves. And I get that. Like, I know there's people who can't, they just don't have the time. And it's totally fine. And it could work really well in your favor. And basically, if you're only putting out, let's say, 1 video per month, and someone can say, you've got a 12-minute video here, 14-minute video, 8-minute video. Let's say that they can pull 2 or 3 shorts out of these videos, just throwing this out there. That can mean that you can upload, 1 short per week in between your actual long form videos to keep kind of things going on the channel. So just a thought, but that's something you could definitely do. You don't have to do it. I didn't do shorts forever, and I recently started doing them, and nothing has gone viral, but it added an additional 100,000 views to my channel in 28 days, which I would have otherwise not had. So it was 100,000 views and something like 100 subscribers, something like that. So
we don't often touch on this, but live streams. Do you think they could be doing more live streams again because of a gap between their content? This feels like a type of channel where they could. This feels like a dirty word whenever I say it, but like start to monetize their audience with in-jokes and like super chats, super thanks. Like a live stream a week. I don't know, Dan, what do you do this on a regular basis? You live stream on in your channels?
I love live streaming. It's something you got to really enjoy doing, I would say. It looks like the views they're getting, based on the views I'm seeing, this is probably someone who gets about 100 to 200 concurrent viewers when they go live, give or take.
Yeah.
which is good. That's really, really strong. When you compare that to other live streaming platforms, that's very, very strong viewership. So don't take that for granted. I want to know if the 50K sub stream, and they've done this a couple times. I wonder if that worked. Can we click on that and see? I want to see if they showed their sub count before and then going to the end. Like, okay. So that doesn't seem so bad. I was wondering if they were like 45,000, that could have been a very long live stream. So I was just curious.
Oh, I see. It was in the top right-hand corner, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So each live stream has a point to it, which is good to see. Like they did really well with titles and thumbnails.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think even I normally say don't do like subscriber videos and things like that, but that felt appropriate. Like the way you presented it, like streaming till you hit a goal, gets your whole community kind of excited, and it's not you coming on your channel wasting quote unquote a whole long form video with you going, hey, I hit 50K and I just want to say thank you. Like your viewers generally don't care, but now it looks like a challenge. Now it looks like I'm not turning this off until I hit this thing, and that's a different pitch.
And now, Reeon, your wish is my command.
Bruh.
Also, we have 800 people watching right now. And my subliminal messaging is clearly not working because only 457 of you have currently done this. So fix that right now and we'll all be good. And now we'll audit the next channel, which is KLAAW. They have 555 subscribers. And the one thing I want to point out here is the immediate evolution in thumbnails. We go down here where there's thumbnails with horrible text and like you don't really admire the art. It's like too busy, too chaotic. And then whoosh, you scroll up here and these are clean. The text is used very effectively. It has a brand. It has a style. I love it.
FYI,
Where does the channel go next?
This is a Max channel.
Oh, Max channel. All right, cool. Welcome to vidIQ Max as well. All right, Jeff. Well, you can surely lead with this and tell us more about this creator.
No,
what
feel
we could
free.
do next. Nah.
You're
pass
tired
on to
of this channel?
Yeah, I'm just sick of it at this point. You know, no, I'm just kidding. But no, definitely, I want to hear what you guys think because
All right.
if they're submitting here, they obviously want some outside perspective from other vidIQ team members. So I want to go ahead and give you the floor.
Okay, it's a confidence thing. I got it. Okay, no, as Rob said, I think the thumbnails are really, really strong now. Like we see a lot of art channels come our way, and this is a tough category. Like it's really tough for us to get into. I don't quite understand what it's like to want to draw like this because I'm just not. It's not an interest that I have. So it's a really it's a tough place for me to come from because I don't. Like everything looks good to me when someone says I'm an artist. I made this. I'm like that's cool. I couldn't do that. So it's really difficult, but I love that you have a very unique style. It's coming across in all the thumbnails. And then I love the simplification of it. And the views, like from the before and after, not just in thumbnails, but in the views as well, are showing like...
Yeah, good observation, Dan. Didn't even spot that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like almost like as you flipped a switch, And so I think they're just going to continue to get better and better as long as they continue. Like it looks like the secrets behind blank is a title format they're trying. Your art sucks and that's okay. That's an interesting pitch for a title. So I guess one piece of advice would be just looking at that your art sucks video. It's okay to try some different things now that you've settled into a thumbnail kind of like rhythm, because that thumbnail feels very like on brand for what you've been doing. But for that title, it doesn't feel very strong. It just says don't give up and there's just a drawing. But I feel like that one could have used some more personality. That one could have used maybe someone breaking their pencil or, I don't know, like something that implied like frustration. You just kind of touched the nerve a little bit harder. So, yeah, there's certain times where I think this exact template is good. It's okay to break away from it sometimes. I would allow yourself to do that. I think that could kind of, depending on the type of video you're making, that could kind of help.
Is it too much of a cop-out for me to say match the style to a trend? Because it's a very unique style. Is there any cultural references you could maybe approaching in the next couple of weeks / months. I do see that actually one of your flop videos recently was when you tried to paint something from Genshin Impact, what I think is like a mobile RPG game. That didn't do too well, so maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. I tell you what maybe match his style, which is coming out soon and is starting to get a lot of buzz, is Final Fantasy 16. I think there's a lot of talk about that, and I feel as if there could be some artistic drawings of that on here. It kind of matches the style already, but just with the creator's own, just unique little touch. But those could be ideas as well. They are doing shorts. And the shorts haven't really taken off yet. A couple of 100 views, maybe the occasional 1,000 views one. Maybe just click on one. What do they do in a short? So they use some music, some copyright music, which I'm going to mute. But they just do like a time lapse of drawing the image. Could they add a little bit more here, like a text narration or a voiceover to tell us how you created that? That might be something to add to your shorts as well. But like very quick, short, didn't waste any time. All good stuff there. Any final thoughts before we move on from this one, Jeff? Or have we covered new and interesting opportunities for the channel?
No, for sure. No, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate the feedback either way. So I like where they're headed with this, to be completely honest. I like how much cleaner these thumbnails are, because one of the things that you'll see, and I've seen, a lot of different art channels in a sense of like drawing, like portrait drawing or character drawing, things of that nature. Some of the ones that are struggling, their thumbnails are too cluttered. So the cleanliness that they've managed to pull off here, and I'm sure they probably would have come to this, a little bit sooner, but being the fact that they've been getting feedback about their thumbnails in our Max Discord server definitely helps sort of fine tune their packaging, fine tune their title and thumbnail strategy to get it to a nice level like this. So it makes much more sense. But I agree. I think jumping on, especially now that we're starting to head towards the second half of the year where a lot of new games are coming, a lot of movies have been dropping, there's going to be a lot of characters that are going to be coming out that are going to be highly popular. It's definitely time to start thinking about doing some research into upcoming games, into upcoming shows, to see how you can capitalize on that stuff. So especially like this with the Spider-Man stuff, it's like, definitely want to capitalize on the timing there.
Why did they save the Spider-Verse art for the community tab only? I mean, if that a video making that art 2 weeks ago would have been a potential opportunity there. But we wish KIDraw all the luck in the world. As a new vidIQ Maxer, Jeff, is that right? They've recently joined?
They've been in for, I would say, probably a couple months at this point.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
And if you just want to let us know, like your 20-second elevator pitch for what vidIQ Max is before we move on.
So vidIQ Max is our group coaching program, and the major part of it, at least one of my favorite parts of it, is we do have a private Max Discord server where we have an awesome community of people that are in there right now talking to each other, experimenting with different things, asking for advice. But we also have almost nearly 50 recorded sessions, including a bunch of subject matter experts that teach you everything about YouTube, all the different facets of it, how to make money, how to create channels, how to do all of it. And that's just a portion of it. And then we also do our bi-weekly live sessions where we do live Q&As. So it is a good time in vidIQ Max. So if people are interested in checking out, please do. No obligation. We know it's not cheap. It's not for everyone. But for the people that are interested, it's a good place to be.
Jeff, I think it's about time I made a return to vidIQ Max. So I'm offering to you, I don't know, an Ask Me Anything or a session that maybe we can do in the next month. So share it amongst your colleagues, Jeff, and see what we can organize for vidIQ Max. All right, what you're seeing now is an image of me, because another way to get your channel audited is through the Facebook vidIQ group. And we just asked people for a title to this thumbnail, and the title that won was "Are 5-minute videos the secret to YouTube success?" I think that's a fairly appropriate title for such a thumbnail, and the winner of this competition goes by the name of Her Real Review. So Jeff, since you've sat out the last channel audit, I'm going to put you front and center to add your comments to kick off this channel audit.
Bruh.
All right, so let's see here. Weekly recaps and reviews. Okay, so I'm going to start at the very top as I did before with the banner. I would really try to reword that into giving us your value proposition. If you could do it in less than 5 words, it would be great. I see like weekly recaps and reviews of what? What am I going to get as a viewer? What am I going to get from your channel? If it's movie reviews, if it's action movie reviews, is it TV show reviews? So that's the kind of thing that you can really put that up there to make it very clear. We don't need to see your name twice. We don't have your name in your banner, then your name right there. It's sort of redundant. So, but I'm glad they actually fill out their about section. You'd be shocked at how many channels we come across that don't have anything there.
Especially when you have like your tagline now. You know, this is essentially another pitch for your channel.
Yeah.
And it's not often used.
The other thing I would mention is right now what I'm seeing on their latest thumbnail, the Blackening Review 2023 horror comedy, no spoilers. It's a lot of keyword stuffing in the title. I get it. But they're also repeating in the thumbnail. And we've got text over text, red text over white text. And it's just, there's a lot happening there that makes it look very cluttered. And if you're going to include yourself in the thumbnail, you should really make yourself a bit bigger. If we just as an example, right? Look at the Little Mermaid thumbnail, the one on the right. You see how big her face is in this thumbnail? If you're going to have yourself in a thumbnail, this is about where you want to be. So you should be around chest up, you know, something like that, shoulders up. But if you're going to use yourself so that we can like connect with you quickly. Because when you're like this tiny on a thumbnail in a corner, it's like, why are you even there? You might as well not be in there. You're just kind of cluttering up the space. So it's just a thought on the way that they're doing their thumbnails.
Dan, what do you think?
I want to talk about the content itself. So everything Jeff said, I completely agree. The next thing I would be asking yourself is, who is my channel for? Now, I like a lot of different types of media. You have Marvel stuff, though. You have Netflix stuff, and Netflix is not like Marvel. I'm saying Netflix stuff in that you have the Queen Charlotte series, but then you got Little Mermaid, and then you have Spider-Verse, and then you have Transformers, and then you have horror content. So you're kind of like, I would say, not targeting a specific type of viewer who likes a specific type of show. Those are all different kinds of viewers. I would say maybe Transformers and Marvel can kind of coexist. But yeah, it's really like tough to see how you're going to build a community around this content, because you're just kind of appealing to a different type of person every time. And then doing recaps and reviews is great. I think that's fine. Like episode recaps are really good, especially for more deep shows, because people are going out as soon as they finish watching. They're like, I don't understand half the things I watched. So they're going out and they're finding recaps to see, what did I miss, and things like that. So 10 things you missed in, episode 2 of Queen Charlotte. Like all that is great. So it's not so much the type of content you're making itself. It's just the different genres that you're continuing to do every single series that you pursue.
It's like we're going ankle deep in many different swimming pools instead of like up to their neck in one to really get immersed in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go on, Jeff. Go for it.
I was going to say, I agree with Dan, because target audience is super important, and you have to think about, if I make this video about this movie and then I make the next, reaction or review about this other movie, what's going to bring viewer from the first movie to the viewer, bring them back for the second one? And that's usually interest. What is this viewer interested? Who am I aiming at? So am I aiming at because some of the channels that I've worked with that have done well in this niche have been where they are specifically targeting like young adult, right? They're going after like the Riverdale, the teen angst type of content. Or another one that I work with was horror. So all of their reviews and recaps were around horror TV shows, horror stuff on streaming, horror movies. Like they were going after the person like myself who likes horror, right? So I'm like, this is perfect. Or some people just do sci-fi. So you have to start thinking about it from that level. Not saying close yourself off to everything, but how can you do this in a run of like 5 to 10 videos that are targeting the same person before you move on to the next genre? Because you want people being able to come back. You want to get people you want to get your channel into their watch history multiple times. And that way, anytime that you upload a video, YouTube's going to recommend it to them.
My little YouTube doodle here was to try and illustrate the viewer's journey through their content. And you look at Queen Charlotte episode 2. And then they have something, The Color Purple, which I think is a different TV series, unless I'm mistaken. I apologize if I am. And then they're back to Queen Charlotte for the next one. And the views here, like there's momentum building. And then all of a sudden, Disney stuff. 3 Disney videos, which the audience really didn't seem to react to quite well. And so when the viewer sees the video about Queen Charlotte, the next thing they're going to see on their homepage is your next video. But they see these 3 Disney videos. And if they're not interested in them, they're not going to click on them. And then YouTube may not recommend the next content that they're really interested in, which is Queen Charlotte Recap Episode 4. So, really think about the target audience, because right now, in kind of a bit of a cruel way, you're just another TV and review channel. So what's going to be your differentiator? And it looks as if it's these particular TV shows that really resonate with you and your audience. And especially like Spider-Man, Transformers, and the Blackening Review, all of those seem to be disconnected from the little series of videos that we were seeing in these bits here. And there will also be a consistency here when you just covered the Swarm and nothing else for a few videos, and you got really consistent views there. And then you went to this is a fantastic film, by the way, but I don't know if it's related to what you were previously watching. And then there's Super Mario Brothers, which seems even less related to the content before. So topic jumping within a topic. I know it sounds daft, but it seems fairly self-evident for us looking at it here. So we hope you found that feedback useful. I should to click which button.
I was going to say, they did leave a message saying that a film critic would review everything, though, which is fine. Mm-hmm. The advice we're giving to you is specifically for the way that YouTube works.
Yes.
And YouTube, when people say algorithm, they're talking about viewers. They're talking about humans, right? And you want people to come back based on their interests. And not everybody is a film critic, and not everybody's going to be interested in everything. So the advice we're giving you is to give you the best chance for you to move your channel forward. Yep. Whether you choose to act on what we're giving you, completely up to you. You definitely don't have to. Mm-hmm. But this is just from people who have worked with channels like this and who have helped them grow. We're trying to help you. Whether you choose to take our advice is completely up to you.
Real quick, that comment of like, well, a film critic would do blank reminds me of kind of how I approached YouTube when I first started, by way of like following the practices of traditional media and not understanding that as YouTubers, like we're kind of on the bleeding edge. We as YouTube creators are kind of paving the way, and traditional media is having to follow us, And so, yes, a traditional film critic would review everything, but think of it this way. They have a way different journey. They're not posting their stuff on YouTube. They're going to different publications who target specific audiences and saying, here's my review of Spider-Man. Here's my review of Bridgerton. Here, and they're not going to give that to the same exact target audience. Like they're going to give it to maybe a publishing company, and that publishing companies go, okay, Spider-Man review, got it. I'm going to put this in this pile because this pile is what all the Marvel folks read. Bridgerton, got it. All the romance people, they're going to read this, so I'm going to put it in this pile. So in one way or another, even in traditional media, things are being targeted. It just doesn't look like that because you're seeing it through the lens of like a film critic. If you want to be a film critic, then it's like a different path. If you want to be a YouTube film critic, you got to think about the people who are going to find your channel and come back for more. That's what we're trying to do, audience building. So to build that audience, you got to keep them coming back for more.
Again, I think there was a really interesting conversation in vidIQ Max with Todd, and he described it as, I may misword this a little bit, so I apologize, but it was the concept of videos aren't pushed out to viewers. Videos are pulled in by viewers based on their previous watch history. So like it's really granular. It goes down to the individual, not just a platform like NBC or Fox just saying, right, at 8 o'clock, there's this program. You watch it or you don't. When somebody tunes into YouTube, they're given a choice based on what they've previously watched. So again, that's another nice little plug for vidIQ Max. And there's a link in the description. There is one more way this week that you can get your channel audited, and that is through the medium of our community tab. I almost forgot this, which is why I was in the background sorting this out right now. You had the opportunity to caption this image, and the best caption would get a channel audit. And I found the best one I liked, and now I can't find. There it is. It's this one. So just go back to the image. That's the image. And the comment from channel name I can't pronounce. Should I sell this setup and start a faceless channel? ChatGPT. Yes. So that was a cool little caption. And this is the channel we're auditing, which is LV3GGWP. They have 12,000 subscribers from just 6 videos. Wow. 6 shorts as well. That's impressive. I'm not sure what we're going to advise here. And looking at the views on the shorts, I tend to suspect that maybe they had previous videos on the channel that they've deleted, or lots of views from previous content and they've almost started again from scratch. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh, wait, they have 12,000 views across the channel. Would that number still be... Does that number change when you get rid of content?
12,000 views, 12,000 subscribers. I don't know.
Well, anyway.
Dan Kamim channel.
Yes. Should we... I'm afraid to click one.
Me too.
So maybe we don't click one. I guess I kind of want to rewind a little bit and just go back to the short advice we gave earlier, which was like, why would someone stop scrolling? So it's all about the average person stopping on your short and seeing it and going, oh, I know what's happening. You know, and as soon as you confuse, you lose. So that happens very quickly with YouTube Shorts because it's very easy to swipe your thumb and continue scrolling and never looking back. I don't know if people, like, just by these thumbnails, I don't know if people are going to know what's going on. I don't know what noises are playing. I don't know how much happens before all this text appears on the screen. So either way, you have some here that are, 3,000 views, etc. I'd be looking at that one and going, what's different about it? Well, in that one, in the thumbnail at least, we see a lot of different images and not a lot of text. And so maybe more people stopped on this one because...
Dad tried to fix car.
Okay, so using AI, but with some music, and then adding on the images. Again, this is where I think AI voice would be acceptable because it kind of matches the tone of the content.
Birthday as an adult. Every time I open the fridge.
And that was a meme in entirety.
So I could see why someone would stop scrolling on that. But yeah, it does. You're going to have hits and misses. Like, you're kind of relying on other people's comedy, I think. It looks like these memes are kind of coming from different sources. And it's hard to build a consistency when you're worried about what someone else has created and you're just kind of trying to curate like different things that someone else made. If that's what's happening. I assume these are probably pulled from the internet and kind of compiled into a short. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of a tough journey, and nothing here is taken off yet. It's too early for us to say, oh, pivot your strategy, but I would be open to that after maybe a dozen or so of these.
Anything else from you, Jeff? I know there's not much.
You guys got it. I'm just I'm a little, I don't know. I'm always a little sus when I see sub and view numbers so even. So I'll leave it at that. I'm just a little concerned. That's all. But
Alrighty, all right. And with those concerns, let's get really concerned about this. Yes, it's time for the CLAAAW once again. What happens here is that it is open season.
Clobbert.
At
MD.
vidIQ. You've been submitting your channels. Let's see how many are in the ball pit. 494 non-gaming channels and 426 gaming channels. So a little adjustment needed on my machine here. We'll bump it up to 525. We'll play it safe and we'll pick a number. And that number will give us a random number, and we put that back into our form. And we take the URL from here, and we don't know what we're encountering here. So first impressions really do matter. And the first channel we're looking at here is Saprana Anime with 500 subscribers. They only have 3 long-form videos, 2 years, 2 weeks, 9 days. Let's just check the shorts. Not that many shorts either, but some interesting views on some of these shorts. That looks like You know, one of those AI diffusion ones. I dare click on it.
Yeah.
So, anime. Okay, cool. Is
I
this
guess,
like video essays?
Yeah, that's probably a good route to go. And I don't know if that's what they're doing with these last 2 videos. But if you are, I'd say that's like a really good start because I know you're getting a lot of views from
In the
shorts.
comments about how wrong I am, how your opinion is the right one, and how amazing Oshinoko is. Remember that.
Okay, so
Okay.
faceless voiceover channel with captions.
Let me just get a little bit too granular here and say that intro, while fine, there's a lot of stuff going on and there's some subtitles and all that fun stuff. Good editing. That intro feels very combative. Like out of the gate, I click on the video and immediately I'm being accused of not agreeing with your opinion. I don't know what it is yet, but like, you know, hey, before you go and tell me I'm wrong, like, whoa, okay, hey, hello. Like, what are we doing? That feels like a comment that is supposed to be kind of later in the video. Once you say something blasphemous, then you could say, now before you disagree, blah, 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 blah. But starting a video so strongly against the viewer is a dangerous tactic because people will click off and the video is not going to spread. Like if they feel like they're being, you think
I'm making noises where I think, ooh, I'm not sure I 100% agree with that.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
This could be like their voice and tone. And sometimes this, like almost complete opposite of how everybody else might approach a video, brings them the, you know, I'm going to mention primal branding for a second, which we've been studying here at vidIQ over the last 12 months. Thank you, Tim Schmeier. But it kind of gives them their identity, their lexicon, their tribe, so to speak. So I don't want to tell them to just not do that because it's like a bit combative. That, if it's intentional, then, you know, maybe embrace that. Right. So I'm offering an alternative viewpoint there, Dan. So I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Do continue.
I don't know. I was my thing is they can be combative. I just think brand new viewers seeing that, like, I would want to ease into it. But that's, again, I'm not trying to tell you exactly how to script your content. I'm just telling you my initial feeling from watching the video, which was, whoa. So something to keep in mind. Maybe that feedback is helpful, or maybe you expect that when you make your video, and that's totally fine. You're like, no, that's what I planned on. So let's, like, with that out of the way, there's not enough content here for me to say, like, oh, here's your like strategy going forward. It does look like you're doing video essay style content. I think that's a good move in this space, but you're gonna need some more, I think.
That is just,
and this is strange for an anime channel. Like, this doesn't, I don't know, does this fit the category you're in? Maybe it does. It's kind of interesting. So they're trying all kinds of stuff, and some of it actually did pretty well.
And the editing is pretty high octane and strong early on, what I'm noticing as well.
Yeah.
All right, then. Let's move on to the next channel. We'll go into the gaming section now. Here we go again. Let me just check on the time. The time is good. We have many more minutes to audit your channels at this point. And John Glynos is the next one we're going to be taking a look at here. And hang on, have I gone to a wrong place? No. This is the gaming channel list, right? Okay.
I saw some Beat Saber on the, there we go.
So there we go. Beat Saber there, and then the shorts where they're doing some Rubik's Cube stuff as well.
So that's kind of two different channels.
Yeah.
If you wanted people to watch your long form videos and you're giving them Rubik's Cubes in your shorts and they see Beat Saber in their long form feed, probably not going to click on it. It's already hard enough to get them to click on the long form, so maybe you're not super worried about it. Just, I'm still trying to keep it consistent. The Beat Saber videos were my larger concern for the channel because title thumbnails need work. Beat Saber is a very challenging game, so you can definitely pitch the title in a way that's like beating, you know, Ghost, if that's the song, on the hardest difficulty, or, you know, not missing any notes or whatever it might be. But yeah, we're getting really dark thumbnails with some text on it, and it doesn't really say what it is. So I would be looking at Beat Saber content on YouTube and trying to figure out, okay, what are they doing in their titles, their thumbnails? And you're going to find a lot, like Beat Saber is really, really popular. There's something very satisfying about watching someone who's good at it like just kind of like go through, especially at the high speed, high octane content. Yeah,
This
video
looks like
quality
somebody
itself,
who's just learning how to play the game.
a little bit. Yeah, I would say this is a slower pace for Beat Saber,
Yeah.
which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. It just video quality looks good, like the resolution's good and everything. There's a lot of people, like the more professional Beat Saber content creators will have a green screen and they will have a third person camera so that you're not having to watch through their eyes. That's a big setup though. That's like a huge upgrade. So I don't necessarily think you have to do that, but it's a goal to strive for. Yes.
Look at this in the community tab. They're telling us what their intended schedule is. So Fortnite Friday, Short Saturday, and then what, Beat Saber Sunday?
Fortnite.
Yeah,
And then
like just
Rubik's Cubes.
figuring out what they want to do on YouTube right now.
Maybe the advice here, because this channel's so kind of like at the early stages of their journey, is that you should do all of those things, but with the intent of learning along the way and hopefully eventually trying to find one of those things that really resonates with you that you love to do. I want you to try everything before settling on that one road. Because we've given a lot of advice today about, you know, sticking to one thing on YouTube, but sometimes we forget there are people who are still, they're like, I'm not even sure what to stick to. And to do that, you have to go through the paces. You have to really go through and like make some stuff that doesn't get a lot of views, but that you think you might enjoy.
How many videos, Dan, do you reckon? They've done 4 long form videos so far and about 10 shorts. What do you reckon? What 25, 50? What do you think should be the cutoff point?
I would give, that's a good idea. Give yourself a cutoff point. For long form videos, I would say check in on yourself after 15, maybe. If you're doing all Beat Saber, for example, if you're going to do Fortnite and Roblox and Beat Saber and like all these different games, it might take like 100 videos to kind of figure this out, but maybe you do 15 Beat Saber videos, 15 Fortnite videos, 15 Rubik's Cube videos. Like just kind of find a number, and it's just for you. There's no magic to any number I'm pulling out of the air here. Try and find a number that feels comfortable. Like I could do that. And then just kind of make that content, set yourself little goals, and then reassess after the fact.
The next channel is mochasuep. That's how I'm going to pronounce this channel. They have 550 subscribers. Let's just check. Are they a shorts channel or a long form channel? So lots, not too many shorts. I'm going to pick, I just want to know what their posting schedule is. So I'm going to pick this one from a couple of lines ago, and that was posted in April. So it looks like they're doing more shorts and long form. The reason I asked that is because there's a huge gap between what they were doing previously 9 months ago and then a video they posted 8 days ago. And I don't know if that reflects a complete pivot on the channel or not. It's too early to say. What's the channel about is also what I'm asking myself here. Commentary and story times. Commentary on what? Story times on what? Because this most recent one is about bullying, whereas one here is maybe about reading comments and reactions to a Reddit channel. I'm not getting that. You know, when we looked at the tile channel in the first half of the show, and like instantly I knew if I was in the right place or not. Even now, I'm still not entirely sure a minute into this. Yeah,
I'm seeing a decent amount of content that kind of like is about mental health, and then we're doing like story time, and it's hard to know what I'm gonna get with your next upload. And channels like this that are very personality driven, it's really important to be consistent. It kind of reminds me of one of the commentary channels out there, like a Drew Gooden type, right? Like somebody who is consistently making content. They kind of bring their personality to it. That's really the selling point. With every video, even though Drew is always covering different things, it's all, you can tell it's all in the same kind of realm. Something about each title and thumbnail that is posted on that channel, you know you're going to get his opinions about a specific interesting thing. But sometimes you go into these like more serious topics, and sometimes you're going into like more, I'm just going to give my thoughts on something that is, you know, not very important but interesting to me. And like you've highlighted here, I do lots of things.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to recommend to this channel and many channels out there. Just give me 1 second. So I want you to go and download the vidIQ app, whether it be on iOS and Android. I'm not doing a sales pitch here. this part of the tool is completely free. What it'll do is when you first sign up, it'll give you a growth plan and it will help you create a brand and then an audience, like who is your ideal viewer. So in these lessons that I've just done, we've been looking at, let me just find where it is, attracting the right viewers, like your perfect channel topic. Attract the right viewers, hook the right viewers for growth, branding your channel. And these set of exercises ask you questions to really start thinking about your ideal viewer. And I think this channel, the mochasuep channel, and many of us would benefit greatly from it. It's completely free. Just search for vidIQ on Android and iOS and start going through those lessons, and they will really help you. But having said all of that, Dan, I think the channel does have some health to it. 550 subscribers. All videos are getting a couple of hundred views, which is, I think, fairly strong for their channel. So we don't need to do anything drastic, massive, but like some fine tweaking is probably where you want to start. And I would say that's with your channel focus and target. Mm-hmm. All right. It's time for more self-indulgence, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in trouble again. The shields are down. We need to solve this riddle.
No.
And I'm calling it YouTube. How was I going to pronounce this again? I've forgotten. YouTube. You twerble. Yes. And what you have to do is you have to guess what the word is, and it's YouTube related. So we need some suggestions and some help here. Somebody in the chat, like, give us a 5-letter word that is related to YouTube, and I'll type it in, and I'll see how close you are. So Dan and Jeff do not know what this word is.
No. So I'm gonna pick. I'll put people up on the screen. No,
good idea. Good idea.
I thought this one's a good guess.
We'll start with short. All right. Enter. Oh boy. So we got an R and a T in there. Not bad, but in the wrong place.
So now I'm looking for words from chat that are containing an R and a T and not in that spot. So a lot of people said views, video. I'm going to ignore those.
This could take a while, Dan, if you're looking for a specific one. All right. Okay, let's try this one. TREAND. And oh, you've got it right. Well, yeah.
Yay, we did it.
That was too easy. Maybe we'll try that again next week. Jeff, give us a suitable disappointed sound effect. Thank you.
Did I ruin your game? I got too competitive. I'm sorry.
Everyone was too good. Too good. All right, let's pick another channel. What we're looking at here, channel 349, and we're going back into the gaming bucket here for this one. This channel calls themselves,
which would have been a good one.
Stupid Storm. They're approaching 3,000 subscribers, and their view counts are incredibly consistent and on par with their subscriber count. Arcane Odyssey, I think, is the game. Never heard of it. That's usually a good thing when it comes to gaming, because it means you found a niche and you're dominant. I'm not going to say dominating, but you are building an audience around that game, which is pretty cool. Is this a Roblox mod, perhaps?
Yeah.
From the graphics?
Definitely Roblox. Arcane Odyssey would be the topic they've decided to double down on. And it's not just that. So this is for all non-gaming channels we looked at today as well, that we've been saying, you know, try to find a focus for your channel. Not only are they playing Arcane Odyssey, but they're giving people like value. It's not just I'm going to play the game episode 1. It's like never swim in Arcane Odyssey. Why not? Sea curses, the true power of sea curses. Okay, cool. So if you're someone who's interested in sea curses, now you're going to learn a thing or two about it. They've nerfed something, so they're covering updates in the game. Release date, brewing update confirmed. So they're covering updates and helpful guides for the game. So this channel knows their target audience very, very well. And I think they're doing everything right. It's kind of a matter of this game becoming more and more popular, which is the one thing about gaming that could be a bit tough because there's forces beyond your control dictating how well you can do on YouTube. There's kind of a ceiling to certain things. If you play certain indie games and their marketing efforts aren't very strong, then you're kind of, beholden to the hopeful success of this game. This one's doing very well. It's a Roblox game, so it could end up on the top trending section of Roblox's like home menu, and more people could see it. You could obviously bring some players to it. Other content creators are going to be really important here. They can bring some players to it. You can maybe start collaborating with them. So tons of opportunities here. You've been at this for a while, making a ton of content.
I was thinking this is reminding me of a channel that was doing the movie reviews and television reviews.
Yes.
In a gaming sector, which is very similar, entertainment, this channel has picked one game and they are going to dissect it for their audience. And so the audience knows every single time they visit this channel what they're in for. And that's kind of what we were trying to... what's the word? Influence you on for this one.
Maybe scroll up a little bit. There we go.
Was there something we shouldn't have been seeing there? Sorry.
It's a little inappropriate. But in any case, so this is really strong. It looks like you were getting more views in the past, which could indicate that the game's been around for a while and maybe it's starting to downtrend in popularity. So if and when the time comes and you're like, I can't play this game anymore, it's not as popular as it used to be, you want to play a game in the Roblox space that is similar to this one, the next most trending game in this particular vein. So Arcane Odyssey sounds like a game with a lot of magic and spells and combat and things like that. So you are going to find another game that kind of focuses on magic and combat and spells, if that's the case. But that's for later. That's when you feel like it's time to think of something new. And then you do a versus video. Arcane Odyssey versus new thing. And you start there and you try and see what kind of interest is there.
2 final points here. Do you think they should include the game name in their thumbnails? And I think this is a bit of a special circumstance, but I'm just curious what your instinctive answer to that is, Dan.
Usually I would say no, but mostly because game logos can be very intense, but that one's not.
Yeah.
So it could add some branding, especially the thumbnails that are darker than maybe like you would want them to be. So it reminds those viewers like, oh, okay, that's a thing I like. And then they look more carefully at the thumbnail. So as long as the logo's not too nuts and other people are doing it and, it's working for you, I'd say it's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking because there's so many variants of Roblox, sometimes in this case, maybe it is helpful to just say, hey, this game, it's this mod within Roblox, which is a little bit of assistance when somebody's just swiping through a feed.
Yeah.
And then the final point I wanted to make is you may be cannibalizing your own views here because these 2 videos were posted on exactly the same day, so less than 24 hours apart. Maybe there was an update, a news update that you had to get out. Fully appreciate that. We would do the same thing if it was a big new YouTube story, but given that you tend to space out your videos like every 2 days roughly, could you have added a bit more spacing there? Just the final thoughts there. But Stupid Storm, you are not being stupid at all. You are really finding your path in this game, and you're making shorts as well and lives. So you're covering the whole, maybe not any recent lives, but you're covering most of the platform gambits. And wow, so they're using the community tab for a channel that's only got 3,000 subscribers to be getting thousands of votes on their community tab. That is somebody who's cultivated that part of their social outreach, which is brilliant to see as well. Let's go back to the ball collector, and I want to get Jeff back in play with this one. Oh, Dan's now made a brief departure. Everybody's abandoning me for brief moments during this live stream. I think you're going to have a challenge here, Jeff. This is Memes AI that we're going to be auditing here. I'm going to guess it's a shorts channel. Yes. Memes AI, 147 subscribers. How many videos have they done so far? Let's say dozens at this point. And view counts are stable, consistent. Thousands of views each short. Apart from this one, which must have just gone live. Yeah, it must have just gone live, that one.
Yeah, so they're kind of keeping it fresh. I guess shorts only, but see. I don't know if they're explaining memes or if they're just showing a meme. So I'm a little lost because I recognize some of the memes that they're showing, obviously.
Yeah.
Decides to orbital strike the city.
So AI voice, some music.
This is Jason. He doesn't rage in every video game like you.
Okay.
Be like Jason.
Okay. I guess I mean the robot voice can sort of work for this sort of stuff. It just really depends on the audience if they're how tolerant they are to it. I think for this it could probably work okay. And that one's not the worst one I've ever heard. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard some pretty bad, robot voices. So that one's actually not that bad.
Yeah, I'm the same with you there. I mean, these are static images, but I'm not a fan of how they're using the space on some of these shorts. I mean, this is fine. But like you're putting a subscribe call to action there. I think that's just too distracting, I would say, in shorts. And then it's just text on a screen. Yeah. And how many is this? Several memes or one meme? Because we keep seeing the beep clip transition thing.
Yeah, it feels like they're going through multiples in one video from the looks of it. Maybe like a compilation, a meme compilation short. Maybe I don't know. It's a little on the oddball side for me, to be completely honest. But I mean, if this is what they want to do, so be it. I wish them the best of luck. I would probably try to do it a little bit stronger. There are some good meme channels out there that go into breakdowns and really kind of give you the history on stuff, and that stuff is actually quite interesting to watch. But maybe it's because I'm a different type of viewer. Maybe I'm the wrong type of audience for this. I wouldn't stress too much over like the thumbnail stuff for shorts. I mean, appearance wise, it's going to show up here a certain way, but we're not fed shorts this way. So I really wouldn't sweat it too much, but yeah.
Look at this. People are now anticipating the channel audit and then adjusting the channel banners to match. Everything self-made. Does that include that the memes themselves, they're their own creations? That would be pretty cool. Dan, give us one observation, and then maybe it's time for some super chats.
Memes. Yeah, I'm not really sure. What's the most popular one?
There we go.
Okay, so nothing like super popping off yet, but only gamers will understand these gaming, I assume, memes. Try and make more shorts. You did that for a while. Try and make more shorts where only someone will understand it, and keep considering that as like the person stopping the scroll, right? Like, I want this kind of person to stop scrolling on my short. And if you continue making every short with that mindset, you'll see success.
Boom. Super chats. Let's see how many we've got. First of all, we've got a few. All right.
So I'm gonna run the other ticker real quick.
All right.
Because if people keep adding them, they're probably not going to get read at this point.
Yeah. 9 finger wrenching. Hey guys, send in my love. I spent 5 minutes making a short on my phone, 1,700 views. Cool, for 5 minutes work. Yeah. Spend a week making a long form video and get 200 views.
Oh.
I don't enjoy making shorts. Lol, the struggle is real. I think we can all associate with, even if it's a long form video, like sometimes you'll spend a couple of hours on one and it goes gangbusters, and then you'll spend days on another and it just doesn't take off. That's the YouTuber's life right there. SD Ventures just reached 110 subs in 9 months. Is that good progress? Okay, so I think if we were trying to be objective, that feels a little on the slow side, generally speaking. People tend to hit 100 subscribers maybe in their first 3 to 6 months typically, but as we've all agreed, it does depend on how many videos you publish. Maybe you're only you've done 2 or 3 videos in that time, so you haven't allowed more opportunities for an audience to be built. Any advances, Jeff and Dan, on that one, or do you agree?
I would say odds are, much like many other new channels, they have not taken the time to think about who they want to target.
Yep.
And if you're not targeting an audience, it's going to make it much more difficult for YouTube to, have your videos show up in front of the right people. So if you feel like maybe you're going slow or it's not going as fast as you want, you really want to start accepting responsibility and saying, what do I need to do to improve? What research can I do to make my content better. And that's where I would start.
We have a new vidIQ Maxer in the house, Icebergs. Thank you for joining vidIQ Max. We hope you take full advantage of all of the sessions, and Jeff, Alexi, and Travis quiz them frequently. EV Pulse, you're all great. Thanks for the time and analysis. I think that's just a response to the discussion we had earlier on about, I think it was audience retention and swiped away analytics for their shorts. Nerdalever, I think this is their second super chat. Why do I have very few views on my shorts? I don't know. This is a short answer, I'm afraid.
Why should someone watch your shorts? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, we have to remember one thing is that YouTube doesn't owe anyone views just because you put up the video. If you didn't take the time to research whether anybody would care about that video, that could be a possible answer.
Rob Lobo Cop, I like that name. Are movie-related channels too saturated? Is it best to niche down to genre, or is general movie-related channels niche enough? Well, we have just audited a movie TV channel that didn't seem to be niche down, and so they were struggling to build up an audience from that. Is it too saturated, Dan, Jeff, that part of YouTube?
I would say, much like most of YouTube, it's not saturated with good content. It's saturated with low effort content. So if you can step your content above your competitors, where you're either going deeper, you're spending more time on your thumbnails, your titles, your actual video topics, your scripting, have higher quality, that's what's not saturated. So if you can step your stuff up, take it a step further than everyone else, then yeah, you'll be okay.
Dan, I'm going to throw this one to you. Spirit583 Gaming. Do you recommend investing in services to help with marketing and growth? If so, what would you look for in people or companies offering such services?
YouTube, like everything we kind of do here on this channel, is really revolving around organic growth, meaning you're not spending money on actual paid promotion. You're spending money on maybe courses to get better and tools like our vidIQ tools to get better and things like that. But you're not paying someone to promote your video, because YouTube does that for free and they do a very good job of it. I know some of you might disagree because you've been posting content for a while and it's not doing well, but we're trying to help you grow organically. That being said, I don't have any specific service or offering. Most of the things I look at would be
vidIQ.
I'm getting there.
vidIQ, sorry.
I'm getting there. Most of what I look at will be in the vein of YouTube courses and tools that make my life easier. That's where I invest money.
So investing in yourself more than like getting somebody else to do it for you once, but then once their service has ended, you're still in the same position. You haven't learned any knowledge or skills to be able to do it yourself.
Right. And I want to put a warning out there, because when people say this, and this is just a warning for everybody in chat, anybody who might watch this on replay, there are a lot of scams out there against YouTubers, and they're preying on the fact that people just don't know. They don't know this. They're not aware. SEO marketing services are a big one. You find them on Fiverr. You find them all over the place. A lot of that stuff is a scam. A lot of that stuff is pure scam. All they're doing is taking your money and throwing views at one of your videos, which is going to kill your video. You're going to get bigger view numbers, maybe even fake subscribers. Not going to do anything for your channel, actually going to be detrimental to your channel because it is against TOS. So don't fall for that. Organic growth is really the best way. Educating yourself on how to do better is really the best way. And that's like what we're trying to do, is teach people how to fish, not hand you a fish. That's really what we're about. So just be careful with that stuff.
And now I want fish and chips for tea. Ringo, the average retention among all my videos is 60%, and the average views per viewer is 2.5. But in the last 30 videos, the views are very low. I'm worried. We're lacking some context here. 60% on what video length would be a question. Average views per viewer, 2.5, to me, that sounds relatively high. However, it could be that you're in a topic or niche which is seasonal, or the interest is just dying. Like, so you're in a dying topic. But I'm speculating. Without more context, it would be difficult to answer that. Jeff, Dan, any more singular thoughts?
I mean, that's really what I would think about would be is is the topic something that's downtrending? Is it something that nobody cared about? Because you can have the most amazing analytics on a video, but if it's a topic nobody cares about, you're not going to get that many views on it because simply there just isn't a market for that product. So that's something to think about. But that's where I'd be looking at it. I'd be looking at, do people still care about this? Maybe they did, before you dropped it, but maybe that info has sort of waned, or that interest has sort of waned. So that's kind of where I'd be looking at it.
If you had to put your content into 2 buckets, just on that real quick.
Yep.
What would you put them into? Because like the buckets could be discoverable content and community content. And that last channel was maybe making a lot of community content because they had 2.5 for average views per viewer is pretty high. Maybe there's not enough discoverable content in the mix, so you're not bringing in a lot of new people. So that's just, without looking at the channel, it's one theory I could throw out there.
World News asks, what thumbnail would you use for street interviews?
It depends on too many things. What are you talking about in the interview? You could do you holding a microphone in someone's face, but
what's the big reaction? The big reaction from that.
Yeah, there's no good template for that. I would be what's the topic of the video and what's going to communicate that best to the viewer? Because they're not going to watch the video first. They're going to see the title and the thumbnail. That's what they're going to see.
It's going to have to tease a story and create some curiosity in that image. And so the reaction of the interviewee and the interviewer is probably going to be key to that. Mm-hmm. The Salty Ham. I love the channel. Hopefully I can get reviewed. Yeah, hopefully that may happen in the future. We have another super chat here from AY4 Gaming. My gaming channel started blowing up and then stopped.
Let's assume up.
Yeah.
Sir.
We'll assume that maybe one of your videos went viral and you've been unable to sustain from that. It's a common struggle.
Yep.
I would ask, what were your views before your channel started blowing up? And what are they now? If they're still higher than what they were, that reflects long-term growth. But you're going to have these peaks and troughs throughout your journey. Just weather the storm.
Focus on the next
video. Try to keep motivated. Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely. Good advice. Raven Vanguard. Thanks for your reviews. I'm not articulate and it's difficult to express my mind. What's your advice for someone who struggles to be entertaining on YouTube? I would say all of us having this conversation right now have struggled with self-confidence in front of camera. Mm-hmm. And I still find that a huge challenge for myself. And to the point where I film every single clip one at a time. And I end up with like 50 to 60 clips because I hate having the wrong take. That will sound crazy to some people who just press record and film 10 minutes of a stream of consciousness. So you're not alone in this. And for me, it's just been sheer bloody-minded determination to get better over time. We have a video actually coming out, I'm going to say soonish, where we'll cover that in a lot more detail and entertainment. I did waffle on a bit there, so Jeff and Dan, I'll open it up to you.
Practice.
Yep. Reps. Get your reps in.
Mm-hmm. All right. I could have just said that as well. And it would have had the same.
No, just we're trying to keep it brief. There's so many.
I know.
Yeah.
Here's Mo. Great stream, guys. Keep up the good work. Love the new AI coach. One of the best YouTube education channels and tools and news facts. What a wonderful segue for just 1 second. Let's do that. All right. So what we have here is the coach. And if you say, can you audit my channel? Well, we'll come back to this in a few seconds and we'll see what it says about our channel. But yes, if you do sign up for vidIQ, it will integrate with your channel and give you a channel audit when we are not live streaming. In fact, it's doing it right now. It's analyzed our channel and with 4 pros and 4 cons. I got a strong niece. I'm delighted to hear that. We'll get back to that in a second. Let's do some more super chats while it's doing our analysis. Corndiff, you've submitted in the forms. Hopefully we'll get selected in the next 10 minutes. We're going to try and get through the super chats as quick as we can to maybe audit 1 or 2 more channels.
Yep, so stop leaving super chats.
Solo, I'm new gaming channel. How do I get views? I mean, the simple answer for us would be don't make a generic Let's Play gaming channel where you just play video games and don't do any narration or anything, and just do episode 1, I'm playing this game. That would be our very simple advice there.
The description has a bunch of those types of videos, and specifically for gaming channels. We worked very hard on this.
Great suggestion. Again, another specific donation from Design Burst. Our channel is about interior design. It takes weeks to create 3D designs. Is it safe to review Pinterest pictures for review without copyright issues? Oh, if you're asking that question, you know it's maybe skirting along the lines of copyright. I guess there's that fair use argument because it's for critique and review, but
it's not for us to say, because anytime you're using content that isn't yours, you're inevitably going to run that risk. How much you're willing to run that risk is entirely up to you. We can't say. Any answer you get from us doesn't guarantee anything on this. So as long as you're making it transformative, you're trying to do all your best practices with it, you can hope for the best. But this is why I am very, very sketchy around using anything that does not belong to me or created by me. Because at any time, even years down the road, somebody can come after your channel. So just a thought, anytime you do that, you are running a risk.
If there is one thing you're going to take away from this live stream, it's this. That was the wrong one. Learning a bunch here. I was supposed to say nuclear watermelon, but now it's lost all of its impact.
Nice.
But do take away that information from this live stream. It's because Dan, you keep closing the super chat before I click on it.
I didn't do that.
Right. Dan, just go. Recommending on using YouTube promotions to push content. Interesting question. I'm looking at Dan.
No. Listen, no, wait a minute. I'm going to do a follow-up video on this because something occurred to me after I made the first video about this that didn't sit well with me. If you go to the promotions tab, if you have it in beta, YouTube literally says this is a great way to get more views and subscribers, which goes against every other piece of advice that we give, that YouTube themselves give. I don't know why that's there. It's confusing. Do not use the promotions tab simply to just get more views and subscribers. If you have a product or a service to promote, it's fantastic for that. If you want to get more views and subscribers, grow organically. Do not spend money on that thing. That makes no sense.
Yeah, makes no sense. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
The Do Better podcast with TheEthanChannel just hit my 1 year on YouTube yesterday. Nearly 50,000 subscribers. So that's like, somebody was 9 months into their journey, had 100 subscribers. This person's a year into their journey. They've got 50,000 subscribers almost. Thoughts on shorts. I've noticed shorts can get you subscribers, but doesn't guarantee them staying to watch your long form content. Thoughts. Very common question. YouTube said they'd fix the algorithm on this. I still have my conflicting doubts about just how connected shorts and long forms are.
Shorts viewers like shorts. It's tough to pull them over to the long form depending on how their YouTube viewing habits are. So maybe they are getting recommended your long form videos. Maybe they just don't feel like watching them when they're on the app. There's not a lot you could do about it.
And last but certainly not least, her real review, thanking us for their review in a super chat. All right, there's one more. We'll do this one, but no more. This is seriously the last one. Arty Foolish Intelligence. What is your advice for a beginner channel in a comedy niche?
Trends.
Yep.
What a perfect one-word answer. And it was also the word in our game. Yay.
Yep. Leverage trending topics.
This was all of the information we just got from our AI coach about how it would audit our channel, saying we've got good, strong niche, our engagement is good, we've got high subscribers, consistent growth. It's telling us our video length is maybe needs a bit of work, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. Title optimization. Dan, I think you'll agree, we're getting a bit stale with our titles. We probably need to freshen them up. I wouldn't disagree with that. Upload frequency is not consistent. It is a little all over the shop because sometimes we keep running out of time to post on certain days. And then demographics. We've always known that we have a bit of a male slanted challenge on the channel. How are we going to fix that? But it will give all of this information for your channel, whatever it is on YouTube, with AI Coach. So download it and make sure to check it out. All right, do we have...
right, let's see what we got here going on. It's terrible. What a waste of technology. I don't know why people do this to themselves. Absolutely trash. I have returned. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your savage chief. The one that needs to only be acknowledged every once in a while, but paid all the time. It is Dr. Savage, and I am back to take my place at the head of your table. Yeah, I don't know about these other guys. One thing I can tell you is, if you follow their advice, you can only expect so much. I'm going to tell you something right now. It is absolutely terrible. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Savage Show. I have returned. Hey, there's Rob, and there's Jeff, and there's that Dan dude.
It's been a while. It's been a while, Savage. How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been, listen, I got to tell you, I've had some financial difficulties. I think the thing is, I invested heavily into Bitcoin, and then I went into ChatGPT and asked what other things I should invest in, and let me tell you, that ChatGPT is good sometimes and wrong a lot of the times. Did you know that AI can lie? I did not know this.
Bruh.
I did not know that. How did Savage AI
it's doing well.
Doing well.
There's growth there. I've been actually in discussions with vidIQ to actually have it be part of the vidIQ AI. This is not a joke, by the way. I'm actually being real serious right here for a moment. This is going to be a thing. So I had forgotten about it. So I need to go ahead and re-email, but it's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you have Savage AI up and running right now?
I do.
Test it.
I can.
All right. So, folks, if you want to ask Savage some questions right now, I cannot confirm that they will be useful in any way, shape, or form if you want to grow your channel. But maybe if you add hashtag Savage AI, ask your question, we'll bring a couple up. Savage will chuck it in his machine, and we'll see what responses we get from it.
Man, I'll tell you, getting older sucks, man. You can't read anything after a while. Like it's terrible, man. Sometimes you can't see nothing. I used to be able to see words. I can't see nothing no more.
So we're just waiting for some questions to come in, I think.
Make sure they pay first, though. Make sure they pay.
We're getting like a real contrasting question. Yeah, so like some of them are like, "Who's this dude?" And they're like,
I've been gone for a while.
How can you not know Savages?
I don't know. Some of these people are acting brand new. I guess because they're brand new.
The audacity.
Why don't they bring up one of their channels and I'll introduce myself post history. Let's see. What's the best hook to add to a Lego channel? You know what? It's funny you asked that. I'll put it in the AI, but I pretty much already know the answer to this. I think all Lego channels and Legos themselves should not have hooks. Have you stepped on one of those before? Those things are painful. You don't need to put a hook on that, but let me see. What is the best on a Lego channel? Okay. Savage AI is talking. Oh, let's see. Actually, you know what? I added voice to it. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me. Hold on. Yeah.
What was that?
The Savage AI. Here's what I think about your Lego channel.
I can't get. I don't hear it. I don't understand what it's saying. It's confusing.
You can't hear me. What's going on, Savage AI? Savage AI.
Oh, it didn't sound like it got disconnected. The internet's messed up. That Savage AI. I got to pay more people to program that. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Fiverr and had someone put that together. They didn't do a good job. So we're gonna have to move on to the next question right quick.
Sure. Savage AI, what's your most hated pizza topping?
On. This is an easy answer. It's the Satan of pizza toppings. This is pineapple. Let's be honest. Pineapples are not supposed to be on pizza. First of all, pizzas are like Italian. I think it's actually American Italian. And I love Hawaii. Man, Hawaii is beautiful and they got some great food. But for some reason, someone went over to Hawaii and said, listen, let's bring this Italian pizza over here. And the Hawaiian people were like, look, we'll put this pineapple in here and see if we can make it any better because it's a little bit saucy and kind of bland. Of course, the problem was they brought over a Pizza Hut pizza. They didn't bring a real pizza. That's why they had to put pineapples on it. Because, Pizza Hut pizza used to be good. It's kind of flavorless now. So they put some pineapple on top. So pineapples are terrible. Try Spam, though. Spam's pretty nice.
You done?
For today.
Next question. Mr. Jesus Christ asks, on YouTube Shorts, there's this little magnifying glass with a term. There's, how do I create that searchable term on my videos to make shorts more searchable? What? I don't even understand that question, but Savage AI surely has an answer.
Here's the thing. what questions have you ever gotten from this chat that you've ever really understood? I mean,
Hey, come on now. Come
a
on.
lot of these people out here, first of all, it's the middle of the morning. They should be at work if they have work. Most of them aren't working, as you notice, because they're here on this live stream. And the ones that do work, shame on you. You know your boss in the other room thinking that you're doing good things, and all you're doing is plotting for your removal of that company. You're like, I can't wait to get out of this company. I really can't wait to get out here and stop flipping these burgers. All right, what's going on? What Savage AI? What are the classes you thinking? Okay, Dungeons and Dragons. Here's the thing about Dungeons and Dragons. First of all, let's be clear. None of the people who play Dungeons and Dragons have ever seen a woman in their life.
Oh, come on now.
What?
That's mean. That's a mean thing to say.
Yeah.
They
we don't endorse that.
They ain't seen no money. They're never gonna be nothing in their life. But you know what? Here's the one thing I do like about people who play Dungeons and Dragons. They keep soap companies in business. You ever smell the Dungeons and Dragons game?
Emotional damage.
Yeah, let's move on again. Have we got anything left here? Any questions?
I think people gave up on Savage AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta talk to that Fiverr guy. Does Dollar Store have any of these glasses? I need to pick some up. So here's the thing: we actually gave the vidIQ gave these out many a year ago at VidCon. Who's going to VidCon? Any of y'all going to VidCon next week?
Is it
Dan
this
never
week?
leaves his house.
Next
I'm not
week.
even sure he's real, but yeah, it's next week.
Wow.
Or this week. No, sorry, it's this week. This week.
Oh wow. No.
No, it's
I
a
guess
bit
no.
far for me these days.
Nah, no. So you listen, you can go on Amazon. You know, use my affiliate link where I get 65% affiliate fares. I'd like to say one thing. I gotta go because I actually have a meeting in like 2 minutes. Let me see what time. Oh, I'm late. Anyway, I wish everyone would have a great day. But of course, send me your $39.95 every 5 minutes. That way, I can continue my Savage. Well, listen, it's really a triangle. It's a triangle, right? It's not a pyramid. We talked about this for years now. I just want you to put money at the top. I'm at the bottom, and I collect it with a bucket. It all just filters down. We call that a funnel.
Savage, as always, an absolute tragedy. Gone. Have we got any time left? I don't think that. Oh, it's brought us up to the top of the hour. Oh, that's really frustrating. Oh well. Let's play some outro music, and this is where I start dancing, and Dan has to take over.
We're back tomorrow. No, we have
not tomorrow.
Maybe a short will come out on Thursday, and Friday will be a video, and then Tuesday we'll do something, and maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll do more live streams. You just never know. Maybe there'll be community tab posts.
You're not really selling vidIQ at the moment, Dan.
We have tools and services at vidiq.com.
We have stuff.
There's a secret link in the description. If you click on it, we'll be mad at you, so don't. Definitely don't share it.
You know, if people tuned in for the last 10 minutes of this live stream, they're probably thinking, like, how do these people get paid to do anything? Like, especially when I can't dance. Right, can you get me a full screen, Dan? Okay, no. Get a little nervous.
You said you wanted to dance.
I'll do it myself then, shall I? There we go. Jeff! What? All right, Jeff, what have you got to say to us? Peace! I guess since I'm hosting, I need to outro this thing, don't I?
Bruh.
Stop it.